All right, I am here with San Jose Giants right fielder Jonathan Mac Williamson. Mac, first tell me why you go by Mac.
Well, it's just, my middle name's Mackenzie, and my parents just, since I was young, since I was 3 or 4, just kind of stuck on. I mean, some of my gifts I got when I was a little kid, 3 or 4 or 5 years old, they just kind of labeled it Mac, and I guess it just kind of stuck, went with the flow.
I've been checking out your Twitter a little bit. Noticed you like to take pictures of your teammates sleeping. When did that start up?
I don't know. I think it's kind of funny sometimes when you catch people in the moment. You know, when they're doing something, they don't really realize what they're doing exactly, like sleeping. You know, and I took a couple in spring training. I think took one of Payne with his mouth hanging wide open. And I don't know. I think it's kind of funny, and I think some of the fans like to see funny stuff like that. They see the players on the field, but kind of behind the scenes.
Who's the funniest sleeper on the buses?
Ooh, there's a couple funny ones. I think Clayton's pretty funny when he sleeps. He kind of lets his mouth hang open and kind of makes some weird noises. I'm sure I make some weird noises too.
Well, Mac, you were a top pitching prospect in North Carolina in high school, and then at Wake Forest you became a hitter. Was that something that you implemented, or something that your coaches suggested that you do? How did that come about?
No, I was actually a catcher all my life until my junior year of high school, and then I picked up pitching. My granddad wouldn't let me pitch when I was younger. He didn't think it was good for my arm, and you know, a lot of young kids don't really know how to take care of their arm, and neither did I. And it's probably for the best that I didn't pitch when I was young. So I pitched a little bit in high school, had some success in the little stint that I did, and then I had ended up hurting my shoulder from the pitching. So when I rehabbed from surgery in college, we got a coaching change at school, and I just asked them for a chance to play outfield. I played a little bit of outfield my senior year of high school when I wasn't pitching, and they gave me a chance, and I earned a starting spot.
Was it an easy transition to move into playing outfield?
I can't say easy. I think baseball's a hard sport all the way around. Every position has its share of difficulties, and outfield's no different. And I played all 3 in college. And,
great play, Cav.
I definitely saw the difference between center field and the corner outfield.
I didn't hear a foul call.
You don't get all the funky spin in center field, but you have a bunch more ground to cover. And corners you have the top spin balls and slicing balls. And so it wasn't exactly easy, but I think I took to it pretty well.
Now, when you were in a position to get drafted a few years back, how much in contact were you with San Francisco scouts? Did you know that they were looking at you pretty heavily?
I had talked to most, if not all, of the teams a couple years ago, and Jeremy Cleveland, the local scout in North Carolina, maybe Virginia and South Carolina, I've been in contact with him several times, and nothing more than just the routine, questionnaire, getting to know me. Maybe, I can't remember if maybe there was a psych profile involved. A lot of teams do stuff like that. So, I can't say that there's really any difference in some of the other teams that showed, above average interest. And when I got the call when I was drafted, I was, ecstatic.
Now you seem to struggle a little bit here in April, starting out the season here. You picked it up a little bit, probably still not where you want to be, but you have picked it up significantly. What have you been working at to get that back up where you want it?
Well, baseball's a game of adversity, a game of adjustments, and like you said, I struggled a little bit, but we managed to win this as a team, and I think I helped a little bit, not as much as I wanted to, but in certain situations I was able to help the team win. So from that standpoint, that was really good. And adjustments I needed to make were, every level you go up, you're going to get less and less good pitches to hit. The pitchers are getting better. They're starting to develop a lot of movement on every pitch in the corners, and you're really not going to get a meatball pitch every at bat. And if you do, you need to capitalize on that. And I wasn't capitalizing on any of the pitches that I was getting around the zone. And in addition to that, I was late on a lot of pitches that I shouldn't have been late on. So Coach Nava and I and Coach Skills and I kind of got together and tried to fix a few things in my swing to eliminate some of the movements to try to help me be on time more frequently. And it's anytime you change something with your swing or your throwing mechanics or something like that, it takes a little bit of time to adjust to it. And I had a little bit of success early on when I first started changing, and it's just continuing to stick with it and work on it every day. So timing was the biggest thing I had to adjust so far.
Now, in getting pitches at the plate and seeing them, are you more of a guessing guy? Do you go up there thinking fastball or thinking curveball, or do you have a pretty good eye for what you see when the ball's coming at you?
It just changes. I've thought about that a lot from trying to figure out when I'm going my best, what am I doing at the plate? Both mentally and physically. What are my mechanics like? What am I thinking when I'm going to play? Am I thinking anything? And it really just depends on how I'm feeling. I had a pretty good spring training, and I found that most of my success came from just going up to the plate with a clear mind, and if the ball was around the zone, no matter what pitch it was, if it was fastball, curveball, whatever slider, if I saw it well and I thought it was something I could handle, then I tried to put a good swing on it. And a big part of that was not missing the pitches that I saw well and that were good pitches to hit in the zone. When you go up there and take strike one, and then the next pitch is a pitch you can handle, and you miss it, and you're in the hole 0-2. I think the major league average is like 150 with 2 strikes or something like that. So, and probably even worse if you're 0-2. So it's putting yourself in that kind of position definitely doesn't help. So I try not to think too much. When you get to 2 strikes, especially as you get older, face more experienced pitchers. It's not just a routine of when I strike 1, strike 2, then I'm going to throw a curveball. They're much smarter every level, and you really have to compete. They can come in, tack fastball in, or they can expand a little bit of the zone, or something. So I try not to think too much and just react to the ball.
What kind of 2-strike adjustments are you making right now at the plate?
Right now, I'm really trying to focus on just seeing the ball, getting my foot down in time, and not being rushed. When I'm not going well, I'm rushing everything, and then I'm chasing balls out of the zone, whether it be up or curveballs in the dirt. And when I'm going well, I can see those early, get my foot down. There's not a lot of movement in my head, and I'm able to lay off the pitches I really shouldn't even offer it.
Which teammates have you been finding yourself spending a lot of time with? It's been probably 2-3 months now. You've probably gotten to know a lot of guys pretty well.
Right.
Maybe some guys you come up with from Augusta.
Right.
You were
I was in Salem.
That's right.
None of the guys on the team here I played with last year. Ty Block, who's the 5th rounder last year. I was with him a little bit when I first with Arizona signed. I was there for 2 weeks. I was with him a little bit there, and then in fall instructional league, I was with a bunch of the guys here, including Ty. And in spring training, obviously, we all were together. And I can't really say that I hang out with one individual more than another, because as it shows on the field, we're a pretty close group, a pretty close team. And if we're going out to eat and there's a group that's ready to go, there's a group that's ready to go. It's not like I call a specific individual or a specific group of individuals. I think whoever wants to go. Last night we got back from the game, and pretty much the entire team was eating at the same spot. So I think that really helps. The team chemistry here is great, and I don't think there's really anybody that kind of gets singled out as being an outcast or anything like that. So that really helps allow us to gel more quickly than maybe a lot of the teams in the league. We have that kind of advantage that we're all really close guys.
Yeah.
So.
How important is that to have that chemistry? You guys are leading the North Division right now, playing well. Obviously, that must really help you guys.
I think it's almost it's one of the biggest things in having a championship ball club. You go all the way up to the top with our big league club, and the chemistry on that team the last few years, including this year, has been phenomenal. And I think they would, they may be the first to say that they don't have the most talented team in the league. They don't have a team full of all-stars. They're not the Yankees. I think the management does a great job of getting guys together that want to win and aren't necessarily worried about their batting average. If you got a guy on third and the infield's back, then we're just going to hit a ground ball and score. And not really worried about what's that going to do to my average. Players like that I think are rare. And the Giants have done a great job throughout the organization of putting together teams of just guys that are gamers and winners.
All right, well, we'll finish on a bit of a fun note. Say you're talking to Brian Sabian right now. Which players over at Wake Forest would you tell him to make sure he takes a look at?
Wake Forest has struggled a little bit this year. They're in their final series at Virginia Tech this weekend, and I think they need to sweep. They need to sweep Virginia Tech, and maybe Georgia Tech needs to sweep Miami for them to get into the ACC tournament. But I tell Mr. Sabian, you know, there's a couple older guys on the team who maybe haven't had the chance to shine, maybe haven't had their opportunity to shine for one reason or another, whether it be injuries or just having off games when time counts. A good friend of mine, Charlie Morgan, he's first baseman, DH catcher, doesn't have the greatest stats, but that's not a testament to his ability or his work ethic. The kid's the hardest working kid I've been around so far in baseball, and you know, he's been a lifelong Giant fan. He would love to have the chance to play pro ball anywhere, especially for the Giants. One of my roommates, or both my roommates, really have been plagued with injuries. Left-handed pitcher Austin Stadler, he's very similar to like a Jamie Moyer, just 86, 87, spotting up, can control all of his pitches for strikes.
Some good off-speed stuff.
Very good off-speed stuff. And then first baseman Matt Conway, very big guy, 6'7", 250.
Wow.
Very, got some of the best hands I've seen at the plate. Just doesn't strike out a lot for a big guy. I mean, the strikeout numbers are way down. But he's another guy he's had a couple knee injuries. And just last weekend took a ball off the hand in one of the series and broke his hand here a couple weeks before the draft. So string of bad luck for both of those guys. But I definitely think they deserve a chance at the next level.